Hello, everybody, and welcome to Making a Graphic Novel with Alicia Dianne Art. I'm Alicia Dianne, and we're going to be working today on Jaydi's story. This is actually the second time I'm trying to record this because the first time I overlapped, I was trying to connect it to my iPad. I talked a little bit about what I was trying to do with the transition, just kind of experimenting from working on iPad to working on watercolor to working on iPad. And I just wanted to see how that worked because I was starting to feel just, a little bit um, just stuck in a pattern. I wanted to change it because I feel really isolated on one desk. I like to be able to move around, and especially I love to be able to draw from my bed if I can. I just love using iPad. So I wanted to give that a try today for what we're working on. So I actually plugged in my iPad after I started the program, so I'm using Ecamm Live. So actually, it had to be plugged in before. So now that I've restarted it, I see that my iPad view is now coming up. So that's a good thing. That I'm glad that we figured that out. But unfortunately, it had to be in a second video to try and do that. So anyway, I'm going to open back up my iPad and open up Procreate to where we were working and the space we were working, and I'm going to try and do the same view that I had before. So I'm just going to try and pull that up before it gets started, but we'll start in just a sec, so bear with me just for a moment. And I'm going to switch now to my iPad. All right, awesome. Finally, oh my gosh. I don't know why it did not want to. I mean, clearly, I figured out why, but it's just so frustrating that it just took me that long to figure it out. All right, so anyway, where we are now on iPad is I'm going to give a little bit of experimentation with painting this digitally. And what I was mentioning in the first video is that excuse me, is that it came up on my browser, this new brush set that's a watercolor brush set for iPad, and I was like, hey, maybe this could be something that works for me. I'm not entirely sure, but I want to give it a try. So right now what I wanted to do first was make a new color palette for iPad for this a little experiment. I mean, we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, I already did do 20 spreads out of 48, but I feel like it would still, I mean, it's going to take some time regardless, but I feel like it can go fairly quickly, just based on the fact that I already have the inking done digitally. So I think that could work out okay. But let's get this color palette going and see what we can do with this. I've gotten, like, I feel like I'm in such a different place creatively than I was a few years ago. Just with the way that I enjoy making art is quite different than it used to be. And I am feeling a lot more comfortable and at ease with digital painting in a way that I was not before. And the journey is, I think, the most exciting part for me because I'm really enjoying the change that it is and like the newness of discovery. So I think that's a part of it as well. And right now I'm eyeballing these because I really like the idea of eyeballing instead of just like eye dropping it, because it gives me a little bit more, I think it trains my eye better. I always had my students do it like this when I was teaching, so that they wouldn't be overly dependent on the color palette or like the eyedropper, because I think that I feel like they can complement each other. I feel like digital and traditional can work together if you're just like kind of more cognizant of both and you have a healthy respect for both. I have a few more colors here that I want to add. This is a lot bigger than the color palette that I would normally work with for digital. This is much more, this is the type of broad, I use a much broader color palette when I'm working traditionally, but I'm trying to keep the same pattern going that I would use for my digital with my traditional. That I would use traditionally with this digital version, because I want to try and do it in the same sort of a way, if that makes sense. I think I want to add a little bit more color there. It's almost like, this is almost like, this Prussian blue is almost like a sapphire color. I don't know. It's like super saturated too. Let's see, is that what I want? I think that's kind of what I want. Maybe it's got like a black and blue in there. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there for now. And the black is obviously not completely black, it's more of a dark charcoal color. That's almost black. Alright. So this is my color palette. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then there will be white, which is basically just, you know, pure white. So I will use, I'll keep my white in there, just cause. And now I'll add these. It's exciting. It feels exciting because I have not done this before. Can I rename it? Will it let me? I don't know why it's acting up. 3. That might need to be a little bit lighter, but we'll see. I'm super excited about this. I don't know why. Maybe because I just haven't done it before. Oh, and I think I'm missing one color. Yeah, because I stopped at that yellow. So I need to also get like a brighter yellow. Just like a super bright yellow. And that's usually what I use for like my backgrounds. Alright. For my base color. Some of these are fairly similar, but they're not exactly the same. Is that? Alright, so this is my color palette. I might want to change this one just a bit. I feel like I want it a little bit more color. I made it more desaturated. So I need it a little bit more. No, maybe that's where I want it to be. I'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so let me push that over, because I don't think I need it right now. Ooh, I'm nervous, but excited at the same time. I'm gonna turn this off. I'll see if it will let me rename my color palette. Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna name it Jaydi Story. And, and I'm also gonna put watercolor. All right, so I have this. I'm gonna go and keep that. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm super nervous. I don't know why. Because it's my first time trying this story this way, and it feels very different. Oh, all right, so I'm gonna take the opacity down a bit to what it would be when I normally start my watercolor. So it's something like that. All right, so this is my very first page of the comic, and I don't have, and I'll add in like texture and all that stuff later. And I know I'm already at the max, so maybe, what are these? I think I can actually delete this. And I'm gonna do it, I did it so in the full panel like this, so I can do like a clipping mask. And that way, because I was worried about that, like I'm doing watercolor brushes, it's all gonna get outside, it's all gonna look messy. So I was worried about that. And actually, I'm doing, let's see. Let's go ahead and try. So they're called AF watercolor. And, whew, I'm so nervous. And I'm gonna just kind of experiment today with this new watercolor that I have. So maybe I'll take it up a little lighter and just kind of see how it looks. Okay, it's pretty, it comes out pretty light to start with. And if I wanted to like really be more detailed, I could always like separate these two panels and then kind of merge them down. All right. So I want it to be quite a bit darker. So maybe I need to, maybe I need a different brush. Let's see. Let's try this one. Oh no, that one is very transparent. Oh. Those are sketch brushes. Irregular base. Let's try this. I can't say anything. Let's see. Does it has anything to do with the... Oh, it does has to do with the opacity. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that that was the case. Alright, so I'm going to undo a few things. I'm going to undo this. And let's put this back up. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, which brush should I start with? Let's try. I think I did that one. Let's see. Oh. I might need to change that underpainting color. Maybe I'll make that, because I didn't realize at first that I was doing a blue. I was thinking it was just a normal color, which I usually do like a light. So maybe I'll just start with this as the fill for the base. Alright, so now we have, alright, that looks a lot better. That feels more natural and more watercolory. And I didn't even add like watercolor texture. I'm going to wait and save that for later. I'm going to use a purple, but I'm going to darken it down a bit. And I think I'm just going to do half of it like that. Maybe I'll make it even darker at the bottom. And I'm trying to remember how I did it in the first place. So let me see. Okay. I think I'll go a little brighter up here. Let's try this. Maybe, let's see. I think I'll do that brighter purple on the bottom. And also let me know what you think. If you have opinions on this version versus my traditional one, then please let me know. I'm curious. And let's see, I even have a little bit of green. So maybe I'll add a little bit of that back here. Or maybe I think it would be better on a separate layer. Oops. I need that to also be clipping mask. Maybe darker green. Yeah, something like this. Probably take the opacity down just a little bit. Alright, so let's try keep moving. Oh, okay. So once you lift your brush up, it's going to be a different shade. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. So let's fill that in. That's super tiny. It's tinier than I want it to be. It's super pressure sensitive, I'm noticing. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the best. Let's see, maybe I'll do this one over and just press a little bit firmer. Let's see. The idea is not to shortcut the process, but to make it more enjoyable and to make it feel as natural as possible. That's what I really want. Let's see. I wonder how many brushes I'll actually need to use. And how many layers I'll actually need to use, I don't know. Perhaps I can start merging things down too. So I think I can merge that down. Right. Oops, that's very tiny. I'm gonna have to kind of learn it as I go too, to kind of see, make sure that it actually does have still the feel that I want it to have, because I'm not sure yet if it's going to translate. I wonder if this part is too thick or too thin. Let's see. Come on. Just 1 second. Okay, I think we're done. I just wanted to grab a bite really quick because I start to get hungry during this. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna take this lower part out because I'm afraid once I continue it, it's gonna change the coloration, so I don't want it to do that. So let's give this another try. Yeah, you can see where there's that overlap, that it does change the color a bit. So I'm still not sold yet as to whether or not this is going to be a good idea, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Why is it doing that? All right. Okay. Let's see. You might have even seen the advertisements as well, because they were like constantly popping up on my Instagram. I just wanted to see if this thing is actually what I'm looking for. I think with along with like traditional watercolor, you kind of have to be open to happy accidents and work with it, as that can happen a lot when you're working with traditional watercolor, just like things that you're not expecting. Like I'm noticing when I'm overcrossing another color that I've already put down. So I just want to see and explore how that works, and how much of that I can just accept without thinking too digital like everything has to be really crisp, because this is a different type of painting that I'm trying to make. Watercolor is naturally a little bit more loose and free than other forms of painting. And I even think I tried to do that twice over here, so let's see how that works. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I also wanted to put in her. Let's see. Small pigment texture, brush line. Let's see how that works, what that looks like. And I think I might just want to bring in, oops, the paper texture, even though I was thinking to just wait till the end. I just think it will feel more natural as I'm going if I just bring that in right off the bat. Okay. Interesting, interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in that paper texture just to see how that feels for me. Shoot. You really have to work from light to dark with this. Alright, so let's see. Let's go to my paper textures. And I'm going to bring in, let's try this one. This one is very small, is it? Oh, wow. Maybe I might have, where is it? I don't think the image imported. It doesn't look like it. I'm gonna try and let's see if I can add another layer. If I'm at the max layer, that's why I didn't import. Okay, so I think I can remove this. Okay, let's make it big enough. I think I'll freeform it to fit exactly, or almost exactly. And let's change the type to that linear burn. Alright, I'm gonna try like that for now. And let's go back down here. I'm gonna lock this so I don't mess with it. So far, I'm not sure if it's the look I want. I feel it feels still like, I don't know if it's just the opacity, maybe I just also need to give it like, because even that feels a little bit better to me, because there's a thing about watercolor that's not completely like opaque, like, you know, so that could possibly help a little bit. That already feels more natural or more like watercolor for me. Yeah, I don't like it too bright. It just doesn't feel natural. This feels better, a lot better actually. And let me just try with the shadow and just see how I like it. This is what I use for shadow always. So let's give this an experiment. That's way thin. Oh, that's so thick. This is the opposite. Alright, let's try this again. Not quite. Trying to get the right size that I want. Let's see how this feels. I'm going to change this layer type to multiply. And I'll take the opacity quite a bit down. Let's take it down to like 50%. I wonder even if I left it at normal what that looks like. Maybe I like it at darken. Let's see. This is really something else. Not what I. It's just like such a learning curve, or such a like. This is a good thing for me because I know I need to like experiment and try things. So, but it's just like, whoa, wow, really? It's all just so exploratory. This is pretty interesting, guys. I feel like I learned a lot of, just my mind is kind of boggled at the moment. So I'm trying to still figure out like what I want to do with this. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to stick with this or if I'm going to go back to my watercolor. I want to think about it for a little while. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me in this process. It's such a like, my mind is just kind of going nuts. But I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to just explore. So I want to thank you again for joining me, and I will see you in a few days for the next book club and then studying the masters on Friday. All right. So thank you so much for joining. And until I see you next time, be grateful, live balanced, and be yourself.